Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the history of Cassie Lang, Antman's daughter. If you didn't know that she was initially the only member of the Young Avengers that had a legitimate claim to the team, then this show is for you. We're going to just kind of skim over her early years. Basically, what you need to know is she had a heart condition, and Scott Lang would become Antman to go and get the doctor that could cure her of a heart condition. She'll be cured. She loved that her father was a hero. She even called Tony Stark Uncle Tony. Everything was great, fine and dandy until eventually her mother got full custody over her. She'd have to go and move in with her mother and her stepfather. Her stepfather hated heroes. She loved heroes. She never got along with her stepfather. So this eventually came to a breaking point, and she'd eventually decide to run away to LA. And this is when she finds out about the Young Avengers and decides not to go and join those kids in LA, but she would join the Young Avengers instead. The Young Avengers was actually formed by Iron Lad using the Vision's old database. Basically, there was an Avengers failsafe program where if the Avengers were to split, the descendants of the Avengers would take their place. And this was a bit hit and miss here and there because we weren't really sure how these characters were the descendants of the Avengers initially, but eventually, over the course of the Young Avengers, things were explained. Cassie would want to join the Young Avengers, but Iron Lad was like, no, you're not in the Avengers failsafe program. So she would lose it, say that she was the only one with a legitimate claim to the Avengers because her dad was an Avenger, and none of their other parents that raised them were an Avenger, so she had a legitimate claim. And as she's getting more and more angry, she discovers she has the ability to grow at will, a power that she never knew she had before this day, so she can join the team. It is worth mentioning before we go on that Iron Lad is the young version of Kang the Conqueror before he turned bad, but the thing is, Iron Lad and Cassie kind of had a thing for each other, so when Kang the Conqueror turned up, naturally the Young Avengers would defeat Kang the Conqueror, mess up the timeline, some of the Young Avengers would cease to exist, so they would eventually have to correct things. Iron Lad would have to go back to the future and accept the fact that he's going to become evil, and that's when the timeline would be restored. After this, Iron Man and Captain America would turn around to the Young Avengers and would basically be like, look, you kids don't know what you're doing. You shouldn't be doing these fights. Go home and stop being heroes. And the Young Avengers did the natural teenage thing. Totally ignored these irrelevant adults. Jessica Jones would then go to Cassie's mother, and this is when Cassie's mother finds out that Cassie has become a hero. And Cassie's mother was obviously not too happy about this. I mean, her daughter had a heart condition when she was born, and her thoughts went straight to, Cassie's heart isn't going to be able to handle being a hero. And Cassie's obviously like, yes, I can do this. I'm Ant-Man's daughter. And Jessica Jones turns around to Cassie and says, you have a chance at a normal life. Don't you want a normal life? And Cassie says, she's Ant-Man's daughter. She never had a normal life. During Civil War, she would oppose the Registration Act, but she'd eventually join Tony Stark's side, not because she was for the Registration Act, but just because she wanted this war to end, and it didn't seem like it was going to end. And then after Civil War, she would join the Initiative and start dating Vision, with the same brainwaves as Iron Lad, and obviously she had a crush on Iron Lad, so it was kind of like she was dating Iron Lad, but not really, and it was kind of creepy. Then when Dark Reign came about, she would join the Mighty Avengers, and she is actually the one that exposes Scarlet Witch as Loki in disguise, meaning Scarlet Witch hadn't returned yet because she'd been disappeared since Cassie's father died in Decimation and House of M and all of that good stuff. Then shortly after this, Children's Crusade would happen. Now this story is more about Wiccan than anyone else, so if you want to know about this story, please watch my History of Wiccan. It's a little bit old and I am considering redoing it, but the story is still there and it's still intact. Basically, Wiccan's powers will go out of control and the Avengers are like, oh my god, he's Scarlet Witch 2.0, he's going to cause House of M all over again, and we don't want that. Then Wiccan is like, no, I'm Scarlet Witch's son, we need to find Scarlet Witch, and me and her will be able to undo everything that she did, and she'll be able to help me understand my powers. So the Young Avengers basically go searching for Scarlet Witch with Magneto. They eventually find her engaged to Doctor Doom, not having any memories or any powers. And then a giant fight breaks out, and then Iron Lad turns up to take Scarlet Witch and the Young Avengers into the past to try and jog Scarlet Witch's memory, and this is when they find Scott Lang moments before he was killed, so Cassie takes Scott Lang into the future, effectively reviving her father. But back in the future, after Scarlet Witch gets her memory and her powers back, Doctor Doom steals Scarlet Witch's reality warping powers, and then basically does something that looks like he killed Scott Lang, which makes Cassie lose it. She would go after Doctor Doom, but obviously she can't beat him because he's Doctor Doom, so he kills her, and this is when it's revealed that Scott Lang wasn't dead after all, so he was just reunited with his daughter, and she was just reunited with her father, and now she is dead, so no one is reunited with anyone. So a giant fight would break out, and after this, a statue commemorating Cassie's life was erected in the Avengers Mansion garden, and she stayed dead. Like, she was dead until 2014. Basically, in 2014, there was a story called Axis, and Doctor Doom would want to repent for his past actions, so he would bring back to life Cassie. But then there would be this whole story where Augustine Cross finds out about Cassie's powers, which basically work because Cassie has PIM particles surrounding her heart, and basically Augustine Cross wants that for themselves. So they capture Cassie and take her heart out her body. Scott would save Cassie and she would come back to life and she'd be unharmed and everything, but Scott would be like, Cassie could have died, and that's just because she's my daughter, like she's the daughter of Antman. She needs a normal life to be safe. So Scott decides that he's going to distance himself from his daughter, and he was just reunited with her once again. Now they can't be together for Cassie's safety. And that's it. I loved Cassie in the Young Avengers. She evolved beyond being Ant-Man's daughter. She turned into stature, and she needs to be that. She does need that distance from Ant-Man, but not so she can have a normal life. So she can be her own hero. She deserves her own book. She's been through all these years of constantly being captured. The only way she's going to evolve beyond that is if she gets her own title to start her own legacy. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Cassie Lang? Please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. Don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. Also don't forget to subscribe to my vlogging channel if you'd like to start your day with me every single day, because Time to Work is returning next week on Monday. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.